Okay, students, good day. Today we're going to perform your laboratory activity number 2 or your project 2, creating a database. So we are going to start with project 2-1, contacts database. So you want to use Access to store, organize, and manage the contact information for the wholesale coffee supplier used by Fort Coffee, where you work as a buyer for the 15 stores in the northeast region. Use a template to create a database for the contacts. Now we are asked to create a database based on a given scenario. Okay, so to do that, we're going to follow these simple steps. Okay, so let's start with creating your project. So get ready and launch Access if not already running. So we need to run our MS Access. Now step number 1, open the Backstage view and in the Office.com templates section of the new tab, select Contacts category. So if you're going to open our MS Access, the first window that we're going to see is our Backstage view. So we're asked to go to Contacts. So Office.com templates, Contacts. Okay, on the next screen that display, select Call Tracker template. Now we're going to select Call Tracker template. Of course, for number 3, key Call Tracker XXX, where the XX is your initials in the file name box. So the file name box is here at the right side. So we're going to write Call Tracker and our initial. Okay, take note, students, you are going to use your own initial for this project. Next, number 4, click the folder icon and choose Word Processing Project folder in your document library or in your USB flash drive. So this is the folder icon, so we're going to click this one to display our save or file new database. Now we're going to select Documents in our library, Documents, and then Word Processing Project. Okay. And of course, we're going to click OK. Now we are done. Next is number 5. Click Download or click Create button to open the database. So here is the download button. Just click OK. Yes. Steps number 6. Close the Access 2007 help window that appears. So we don't see any Access 2007 help, so we can skip this part. And step number 7, click the shutter bar open and close button to open the navigation pane. So this is your shutter bar. So we're going to click this one to display our navigation pane. Now click the supporting objects header to display the database objects in that group. So the supporting object is this one. Okay. Next, right-click the customer table under the customer header. So customer header, customer table, right-click. Next, click copy. So we're going to copy. Number 10, right-click in the white area of the navigation pane and click paste on the menu. So we're going to click on the white area of our navigation pane, just like this one, and click paste. In a paste dialog box, key in customer structure. So we're going to key in customer structure in our paste table as dialog box. Next, click structure only radio button. So structure only radio button and then click OK. Now where did our copied table go? It goes to unassigned object. So if we're going to click this one, we can see the customer structure table that we created earlier. Next, step number 14, close the call tracker XX database. So to close this one, you have to click your close button at the upper right side of the window and just click yes. And that's it. We are done with project 2-1. Now let's proceed to project 2-2. So for project 2-2, database for restaurant. So you are again given a scenario as a regional manager for a franchise restaurant chain. You want to keep track of the restaurant locations and the customer comments. You decided to create a database to store the necessary information. And of course, in order to create this database, we are going to follow these simple steps. So let's start again. Launch our access. Instruction number 1, in the Backstage view, new tab, click blank database. So it is by default selected. Next, number 2, in the blank database pane, on the right key in restaurant XXX, where the XX is your initial in the file name box. Okay, so we are going to key in restaurant and then our initial. Take note again, use your own initial. Now let's proceed with steps number 3. Click the folder icon and choose word processing project again. So folder icon, word processing project, double click to open. And then click OK. Next, click create. Okay. Now steps number 4, right-click the Table 1 tab and click Save. So this is a Table 1 tab. Okay, so this is your Table 1 tab, right-click and then click Save. Next, in a Save As dialog box, key in location. So we're going to key in our table name, locations. And then click OK. And we are through with our project 2-2. So we're going to leave the project or the database open for our next project. Now let's proceed with project 2-3, adding tables. So you need to add some tables to the database that you just created for information about the restaurant. Now to do that, of course, we're going to follow these 6 simple steps. So let's start. Steps number 1, use the application part gallery to create a table for comments. So to do that, go to your Create tab. Okay? And then, from Create tab, choose Templates, Application Parts. And of course, select Comments. And then click Cancel button. We have first to close our table. So click Yes. And of course, click Cancel button. Okay, don't forget to enable content so that we can modify the content of our database. So we have a table created named Comments. Now we have to rename the table as Uptown Comments. So right click and then rename. Okay, press enter to save the changes. Now let's proceed to number 4. Copy the structure of the Uptown Comments table to create a new table. So what we're going to do is right click, copy, and then click on the white area of our navigation pane and then paste. Now we're going to rename this table as Downtown Comments. And then we're going to select Structure Only button and then click OK. Now for this database, we are able to create 3 tables: locations, downtown, and uptown comments. And instruction number 6, close the database. So again, to close the database, just click your close button at the upper right corner. And just click Yes. Now we are done with Project 2-3. Let's proceed to Project 2-4, Nutrition Tracker. You have given a scenario again. You have become the health conscious and want to track your activity, exercises, and food logs using Access. Now we are asked to prepare a database, and of course to do that we're going to follow these simple steps. Okay, so let's launch our Access. Okay, so if necessary, log on to the internet. So which means that if you're going to create this database, as much as possible you are connected to the internet. Let's have number 2. In the searchoffice.com templates, search for the download and say nutrition template. So this is search office for templates, and we're going to search nutrition. So nutrition, and then click search. So we have your nutrition tracking. And of course, in the file name box, we are going to save this as nutrition and then our initial. Again, use your own initial for this project. And of course, we have to click download. Okay, now the database is open. Make sure to click Enable Content. At the left side of our database, we can see all the available objects for our database. Now, let's try to minimize all of these objects so that it would not be crowded. So just press this double arrow. Okay, so now we are able to see only the heading for the objects available in our database, which are table, queries, forms, and macros. Next, steps number 3. Key your information in My Profile form. So we need first to locate forms and then select My Profile. Double-click to open the object, and then we have to key in our personal information. So take note again, you are going to use your own personal information. So for me, that is male, my age is 32, and my height is 66, and of course my weight is 200. So this is 220 pounds, and of course my body mass index is 19. So this database uses English English system. So 5 feet and 5 inches is at least 5 feet and 6 inches is at least 66 inches. Okay, so we are done. Now let's proceed to next. And then click OK. So don't forget to click OK after you enter your personal information. Click OK button. So we can see our today at glance table of form. Now let's proceed to the next. Steps number 5. Open the tips table to view the tips stored in the database. So let's minimize these forms and let's go to table, select tips table, and double click to open. Now we can see all the tips for healthy living. Okay. Next. Number 6, explore the other useful forms and the information available. So, aside from the tips, we are also have the table for our exercise log, in which if we are able to exercise, then we can log in an information for this table. The same with our food intake. And, of course, we have table for the suggested foods for our database. And of course, steps number 7, close the database. So simply, click our close button. Now we are through with project 2-4 of our project 2. Now let's proceed with project 2-5 Northwind Traders. So you have just joined the sales force at the Northwind Traders. To familiarize yourself with the information available in the company database, open the file and browse to the objects. Now we are asked again to create a database, and of course we're going to create that using the simple step. Now get ready and launch your access. Steps number 1. In the sample templates category, so this is a sample templates category, click on that and then select Northwind. So this is the Northwind, and of course we're going to name this as Northwind 2010, and of course our initial. Then click the folder to save our database. Make sure that it is inside our word processing project. Select this one and then click OK. And of course, click Create. Okay, next, click Enable Content so that we can enable the database. Next, steps number 3. Login sales representative. So we have your login dialog box and we are asked to log in as John Cotas. And of course, click Login button. Next, open the navigation pane by clicking this shutter bar. Okay, to display all the objects in category. Next, we are asked to view all the objects relating to this database. So we have your customer's order, which is a group of forms and of course tables. We have also your inventory and purchasing forms. We have your suppliers. We have your shippers. We have also your reports. And we have also your employees. So we can see the employee list form. Double click to open. And here we are. At number 3, John Cotas, the Northwind Traders. Instruction number 5, close the database. Now we are through with project 2-5. Now let's proceed with project 2-6. Customer Service Database. So again, we are given a scenario. Southridge Video has a large membership of customers that rent new release and film library movies, as well as video game. As the store manager, customer complaints are directed to you. Create an access database for the purpose of tracking the customer service issue. Now, we are asked again to create a database, and to do that, we need to follow these 2 simple steps. Now, let's get ready and launch our access. Now, select blank database, and we're going to save this as Southridge, in which the XX is again our initial. So, Southridge, our initial. Then make sure to click the folder to save our database and select Word Processing Project. And let's click OK. And of course, click Create button. Now, let's go to your application part. To go to that, just click Create and select Application Part Templates. Next, we have to select Issues and just click Yes. Now we have your issue table and make sure to click Enable Content. And we are done with your steps number 1. And of course, that's it for our project 2-2. Our database has 1 table and of course 2 forms. Issue data and of course issue new. And we are done with project 2-6. Instruction number 2, close the database. Again, to close the database, just click Quit button. And we are through with project 2 of our lesson, creating a database table. Now let's see your final output. Okay. For your project 2, you have the following database as a final output: Call Tracker, Northwind, Nutrition, Restaurant and South Ranch. Students, thank you for your time and see you in our next project.